It really is a topic. Uh, and it's a major factor in the society. People downplay it. The black community don't understand the gun like the white community do. Uh, the black people are afraid of the gun. Not as much now. They starting to realize what's going on. But they don't understand the rights at all. Hardly no black people talk about their gun rights. The Second Amendment, they abide by every law. By every law in the Constitution, but this Second Amendment, that's because the powers that be don't want them to have it. The slave was never supposed to have no gun, G. Never supposed to have no gun. And it is so detrimental to our society. But if we had a group, for one, if we had a group of guys like the Black Panthers, buddy, with them guns, and every time the police do something and we call them out on that bullshit, buddy, a lot of that shit will stop. But this gun is very detrimental, and it's crazy how they doing it with the laws. For one, it's a can of worms. What a can of worms they done released upon the earth, G. It's everywhere. You can't, but it's worms everywhere. It's hard to find these worms and get this worm. You'll never get all these worms back in this can, for one. And telling another man he can't have now, it should be a worldwide thing. It's gonna be worldwide one day. These laws over here are gonna apply to the planet with this gun thing, cause the can of worms everywhere. That's what's going on the planet too. Guns, for the most part, the most major thing going on the planet, guns and weapons and war. But to tell a person, you know it's bad. They know it's bad. That my peon with a gun theory is true. You just can't see it. It's very true. Peon, only person can have a gun is a peon. Peon with a gun. A man get a gun, they scared of him. They don't want him to have it. Because of the potential. Once he become a felon, he can't have a gun for the rest of his life. This is the only object that people can have, but they'll tell a man, they can tell some people that they can't have now. This is the only object they can tell some people that they can't have now that everybody else can have. It's to the point where it's in the Constitution. Shall not be infringed. You ain't even supposed to tell a man you can't have no gun, and that's the only thing out of all the objects. People crash cars every day. I've been in a major car wreck, a couple of major car wrecks that wasn't even my fault. But they'll never tell a person they can't drive no vehicle again. A gun is the only thing that's in the Constitution. The gun been around for a long time, very detrimental. It's the only thing that they can tell a person that they can't have that everybody else can have. I can't think of nothing else they telling a man he can't have. Besides, go and vote and probably live in certain areas, but I done lived in apartments. Felons ain't supposed to live in apartment complexes. I done lived in apartment complex. And I know people in Texas get guns and stuff. Yeah, 5 years. Once they out of the pen for 5 years and off paper for 5 years, but that's 10 years. By then, anything can happen in 10 years. Your life, buddy, you be gone in a year, shoot, a day. With a gun, with these guns out here, a lot of guys get out of jail, buddy, shoot, within a week. Man, black people know the story. Telling another man he can't have no gun. As soon as he get out of jail, they need to give him his gun belt, his gun and bullets. And shit, since he going off into a gun society, they don't know it's like they don't know what they created here. And it's spread all the way around the planet with this gun thing. But to tell a man he can't have now, it's got to be bad. You got to think that's bad. So only a square britches or some, little old pussy buddy peon type of motherfucker, they a real softy guy, softy type of guy can have a gun. Cause it's the only type of people that don't get in no trouble. Some old square softy type of guy, right? And if this square soft, church going, good Christian fella ain't fit to do nothing with no gun from one end of the planet to the other one, why you selling guns? Period. You're not gonna do nothing anyway with it anyway. Only thing it's gonna do is somebody get a bad person gonna get their hands on it and do something with it. If Mr. Goody Two Shoes didn't want now, what nobody have now. Just go back to bows and arrows. I ain't got no problem with that. I just hunt anyway. I like to hunt anyway. I ain't got no problem with that. The bow and arrow. I've been a felon for a long time, but I was shooting a bow before I was a felon. But if you tell a man he can't have no bow and arrow, you really cutting into his livelihood. But to tell him the bow and arrow not even in the Constitution. It was here before the gun. But they wouldn't tell you can't have no bow and arrow. The feds won't anyway. But it's in the Constitution. And when the feds told me I couldn't have no gun no more, it was two of them in the room together, a black dude and a white dude. Both of them had a Glock 19 on their hip. Two grown men with guns on their hip telling me I wasn't no kid. I was 22, 23, telling me I can't, with guns on their hips, telling me I can't have no gun for the rest of my life. I'll never forget that story. Telling me about the gun thing and being a felon. They were so adamant about it, like, man, you can't have no gun for the rest of your life, no weapons, nothing. Just a bow and arrow, a sword. It was before I went to the pen. And I'm thinking, man, y'all two older grown guys sitting here telling me I can't have no gun. Both of y'all got guns on y'all hips. Y'all need some Bibles and put that gun down. And since you telling me I can't have no gun and you all Goody Two Shoes and shit, what you doing with a gun on your hip? It's just a form of control to me. You got a gun. If you was such a Goody Two Shoes, you wouldn't have no gun. Or telling nobody they can't have no gun. And you wouldn't be scared of nobody with no gun. You tough if you're a tough guy. But a peon would want to be the only one with a gun. Wouldn't want no other man to have no gun so he can feel superior. Peon with a gun type of deal. Square britches.